Yeah, whenever a stranger hands you something, you should
This
immediately put it in
segues
your
so
body.
well into my first joke.
So thank you guys so much for coming. We are Plus Two Comedy. We're going to let the room settle down a bit before we get started.
We will never settle.
Oh no, this is going to be a heck of a show. You are in super kick distance, man. If you haven't seen us before, we've been here like all weekend doing stuff. Where have you been? But we are a nerd-specific stand-up comedy group. Now, I always do say that comedy works best in a group. So if you sit really, really far away, you don't get the good laughs. You're in a bad seat, is what I'm saying to you. So if you guys want to move closer, you can. You don't have to, but I might point at you.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
All right, he'll be right back. That's good.
Or leave, I guess. That's conducive to comedy. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Hello, Wes.
What's up, guys? Cool. All right, so we're going to be doing a stand-up comedy show in just a moment. So just so you guys know, this is how we like to run our shows. At the end of our shows, we like to do a Q&A. If you want to ask us about us and about comedy, you can. If you want to ask us what the worst video game system ever made was, we will tell you the answer to that question as well. We will settle any nerd debate you have in the back of your mind. So we just wanted to bring that up in the beginning. This way you guys have an entire show to think of some weird questions to ask us. The weirder, the better. I'm inviting problems with that statement. The weirder, the better. Who has seen us before?
Who has seen us before besides yesterday or Game the Gamer tonight?
Has anyone seen us do comedy before?
Cool.
All right,
One
cool.
dude.
All right, cool. So I can do old stuff. It'll only upset him. I was going to ask if we were good with the camera, but that man ran away. Oh, we are good? We are good.
That
All right.
wizard says it's
Thanks,
Says
Gandalf.
Gandalf the Grey. White? Gray? I don't know.
Gray, look at his hat.
You're
Come on now.
being wizardist. He could just be some guy.
Not every wizard's Gandalf.
Yeah. Some of them are Dumbledore.
My name is Frank the Wizard. All right, guys. Are you ready for a comedy show?
Woo. I
I'm
wouldn't have it.
gonna need a little bit more than that. You guys ready for a comedy show? That's what I need. Your first comedian is the newest member of Plus Two Comedy. Please give it up for the fantastic Laura Prince.
Yeah, my library is good. Oh, come on.
You're gonna have to talk through your forehead.
Oh,
Maybe the tiara.
help. Yay! Okay. I have this problem at literally every show I do of like trying to get the mic stand down because I'm by far the shortest member of Plus Two Comedy. So,
More like +1.5.
plus 1.8. How is everybody liking MAGLabs this year? My God. I love going to conventions. I love MAG and MAGFest and MAGLabs because when I was a kid, or teenager really, I didn't get invited to parties or go to concerts because I stayed home playing video games all the time. And now, because I stayed home playing video games all the time, I get to go to this 3-day-long party with concerts, and I have a tiara, and there's Disney karaoke at midnight. YouTube was right. It does get better. And, like, I'm kind of looking at, like, I didn't go to my senior prom. Investment. So, I rewatched all of the E3 press conferences last week because I hate myself. And, man, they tried. Like, I watched the EA one, and after I, like, didn't pay attention to all the sports, because I don't care about sports when it's real people playing. I don't care about sports when it's little digital people playing. But I do care about Star Wars, like, a lot. And when they were presenting about trying to fix Battlefront 2, they clearly, like, never spoken to someone who liked Star Wars. Because I'm just picturing this meeting. It's like, Jenkins, how can we salvage this game? Oh, I don't know. We could get rid of like the loot crates and the weird game progression. Nah, Ewoks. Star Wars fans love Ewoks, right? Nah, that's not it. Prequel content. Those movies were not remotely controversial. Nah, that's right. Solo tie-ins. There's no way that's gonna underperform globally. Oh man, I love watching them though because like The press conferences are always the same interchangeable white dude who I think they clone in a basement because you never see them again the next year. And it's like a little bit sad, but it becomes like this great episode of Fear Factor. Because it's like this guy who hasn't been on stage since his 3rd grade Christmas pageant. And they like hand him a piece of paper and they're like, all right, that group of people is hungry and tired and they've been sitting there all day waiting for this press conference. Go tell them what's on this sheet of paper. We're still not definitively announcing a new Animal Crossing. And Waluigi's never going to be a playable character in Smash. Also, Luigi is dead, or maybe he's not. We don't know. That was weird, right? When they were like, oh, Luigi's dead. No, just kidding. I think like a bunch of little kids saw that little like weird video and they're like, oh, Luigi's dead. And then like Nintendo had to be like, no, it was just, this backfired. But that would have been the perfect time to announce Waluigi of like, Luigi's dead, Waluigi's here. That would have been amazing. It's another missed opportunity. Sony's not missing any opportunities though. They're just remaking everything. Oh my God, it's like this great way to relive my childhood ups and downs. Like, they're remaking Resident Evil, which is great because I get to relive like my crush on Leon, my disappointment that Raccoon City is not in fact populated by raccoons, and my debilitating nightmares from like my entire childhood. And like they're remaking Final Fantasy VII, we think. We haven't heard anything about that in a while. But it's like, oh, you know, you get to relive this thrilling adventure and also senseless, brutal murder and grief. And then they're also remaking Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So you can relive your love of Disney and this wonderful adventure and the 15 years you've spent waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. Do you guys think it's going to come out? Do you? Is that like the Half-Life 3 thing where like every time you mention it, it's another 6 months? But like they've announced a release date and like I feel like I'm going to pre-order the game. It's going to show up at my house on the release date. I'm going to open it and it's going to be like, nope, next year. Sorry. But they've been releasing the games the way my mother used to like attempt to discipline me when I was being a little shit. Like 1, 2, 2.5, 2.8. Dream drop distance. 3, 65 over 2. What? Am I in trouble? I don't even know anymore. I'm just gonna go to my room. I'm confused now. But I've been watching a lot of trashy reality TV when I'm not watching E3 press conferences. And I love that they do these like aspirational reality shows of like Top Chef or Project Runway or even like Face Off or Heroes of Cosplay, even though that one didn't really go that great. But I want to see, like, for the longest time, I wanted, like, the next magical girl. Come on, picture it, like the next anime magical girl. The challenges are like best transformation sequence, coolest animal sidekick. And what's great is it does not matter how hard you try. The girl with the blue hair sitting in the back is gonna win. But if you try really hard, you can be the antagonist she constantly beats at stuff. And then I realized that they do make the best magical girl reality show, but it's RuPaul's Drag Race. It is. Next time you watch it, you're like, oh, look at that transformation sequence. We just need a couple talking animals in here and we're doing great. I've been a gamer for like my whole life, but I wasn't allowed to own like a console when I was a kid, which, you know, look how well that worked out for you, Mom. Look where I am. And because I used to have like the Game Boy because I couldn't have like a home console, but I could have a handheld. But now like those biases follow you into life because like there's so many different kinds of gamers. You have like, you know, Xbox is powerful and Sony has all the great exclusives, and like the PC gamers, they can multitask and they really love yelling Master Race when I tell that joke. Meanwhile, I like Nintendo, and we are Hufflepuff. Like, everyone else is like, you know, really strong and sleek and exclusive, and we've got our controllers, and we're just like, this is great. I'm bowling. I'm going to take out this mic stand of doing that. But I've been playing a lot of choice-based games recently, and I love them. Like, you know, your Life is Strange or your Walking Dead kind of games. But they've carried over into my personal life a little bit. Now, every time I have a fight with my boyfriend, I give him 2 impossible choices, and I do not let him walk it back. Did you shrink these in the wash, or did I get fatter? The second one, Laura will remember this. I guess you could say I've got a telltale heart. Yes, I feed on your misery. That's the best stand-up comedy tip we can give you. I feed off your misery. My best friend's getting married, and I'm the maid of honor, which is awful. I'm so glad no one went, woo, because she's not here, so we don't have to pretend we're happy. Oh my God, I went to a wedding show, which is like a convention, but with everything you like about convention stripped out of it, and just like, it's like a vendor's room where no one's selling anything you want, and they're all real hungry to bother you about it. And like, this one woman comes up to my best friend, and she was like, good luck on your wedding journey. What is a wedding journey? Like, do I have to like haul her ass up a volcano because some old guy gave her a ring? Like, guys, this is my best friend. I am a best friend on a journey. What happens to best friends on journeys? That's right, Simba, they die. So like, now I'm sitting there going like, I'm planning the Bachelorette. Google, what's the nearest active volcano? All right, somebody's Google just went off. That's never happened, and that's so funny. The nearest active volcano, I did look it up once for research. It's Mount St. Helens. So we're going to go to Washington for your Bachelorette, right? That's where you want to go. But now, like, my boyfriend's getting ideas. And, like, so he was talking to me, and he was like, yeah, you know, I've been thinking about, like, taking our relationship to the next level. I was like, ooh, buddy, we don't have the XP for that. And he was like, no, that's not what I mean. Like, I want to give you a ring. And I'm like, oh, we got to go up to Mount St. Helen. But then I, like, thought about it, and I was like, you know, this is really touching, because ever since I was a little girl, I've dreamed of being a Green Lantern. Yeah, I still have a roommate, like, and my roommate and I we're not getting along great these days. She writes a lot of Transformers fan fiction. But like, erotic Transformers fan fiction. And one day I decided to do something you shouldn't do. I asked questions. No, reading it would have been like, I could have like just closed my laptop and left the room. Nope, started a conversation with her about it. What follows is a 15-minute diatribe about like sockets and ports and cords, and long story short, I have to now sleep with my phone charger in a different room because I'm uncomfortable invading their privacy. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not really like good at the interpersonal relationship aspects of things. I learned everything I need to know about oral sex from Kirby. I have 2 approaches. I can absorb your power, or I can spit it back in your face and destroy you. My name's Laura Prince, kids. Are you guys ready for your next comedian? One of the founding members of Plus 2 Comedy and the tallest member of Plus 2 Comedy, who's going to have to fix this mic stand for himself, Will Liam. Oh, God, I broke it.
I don't like how many times I've had to say this at conventions. Guys, if you're in a room full of white people, you cannot yell master race. It's not okay. We gotta stop. That's just a PSA. Comic books lied to me. I was in an industrial accident not that long ago, and I learned from comic books if you're in an industrial accident, you get superpowers. And it has to be really bad. And I know it was bad because when I was at the hospital, the doctor pulled out my chart and went, "Whoa! Are you forklift guy? Yo, Steve, get in here. It's forklift guy." I was hit by a forklift. It shattered my leg. I thought surely I would at least get forklift powers. Like I could lift heavy things. When I back up, it goes boop, boop. Like a stock boy could take a nap on me. Forklift things. Turns out all I got is that I could sit on the couch for 6 months. And the binge watcher doesn't really strike fear into the hearts of Gotham City. So it didn't really work out. I got very excited when we were at a convention. I saw that they had a booth set up for donating blood. And which is cool. It's cool to give blood. I didn't like that the people running it were cosplaying the medical professionals. It would have been maybe okay if they were like theme appropriate, like a Mercy or a night nurse. Maybe not Death from Sandman. Ominous. If you guys don't know Death from Sandman, basically dresses as a goth woman. And at that point, I'm like, I don't think that blood's going to a hospital. I think she's just going to spray it out of the sprinklers later at the rave, like the first Blade movie. And they didn't. I was very disappointed. But I give blood. I have a card that says Type O Hero, and I believe that not because I'm a hero because I give blood, because again, I just want those superpowers. And I have Type O, which means that they need it more, because I don't know if you know this about blood, but Type O is the most delicious of the bloods. So they can take your plasma, and plasma is cool. They hook it up in this big machine. If you're going to get powers, that's the way to do it. So they hook one needle into your arm, and it goes out. It goes into this machine. They put another needle in this arm. Something comes back in. Juice, I don't know. I should ask. That's my body. But you're sitting there, and you're like, maybe this is it. Here comes, the super soldier serum. Here comes the gamma radiation. What? Oh, I got mono. Oh, cool. Cool. I'll be Captain Sleepy. That's fine. And I figure maybe superpowers will come with accidentally, like you find them like a Green Lantern ring, you could probably find in a cereal box at this point. They just kind of get them. But I know myself well enough that even if I got a Green Lantern ring, I couldn't use it properly, because Green Lantern ring forms anything you can think about, and I'm not good at that. So if I was just like, bank robbery, I'll stop this. We'll just make a naked Samus Aran making out with Cortana. What? No, take the money. It's fine. This is going to be a while. Cool. Or maybe I could just get into a worse accident and be like Oracle. If you don't know who Oracle is, you're doing way better in your life than me. Oracle is Batwoman after she got paralyzed, but before smartphones existed, so Batman would just call her for stuff, like to just Google things. Just like, Oracle, I need you to Google crocodile weaknesses. Do not use Bing, that's not what I said. Okay, look, okay, no, put Alfred on for me. No, you're a big help, but put Alfred on, please. Hey, Alfred, I know I said I'd be home for dinner, but I'm busy doing stuff. Do not yell at me in front of the Justice League. And I love you too. So maybe I could handle that, I don't know. And it's the same thing, like when I play video games, I just kind of, pretend to be me. Do you guys know what Sword Art Online is? Cool. If you don't know, it's this anime about an MMO. It's kind of like World of Warcraft, but you plug in Matrix style, and everybody plays it. And the first day, everybody's there, and the guy that made the game shows up, and he's like, "You're all trapped here now. And also, you look like you now," which means if you made like a female avatar and you're a male, now you look like yourself. And that sucks for me, because I just make versions of myself of MMOs, but in better shape. So I'd be like, that's fine, I can be stuck here. Oh, cool, great. No, I'm fat here too, fantastic. Thanks a lot. At least I don't wheeze when I go up steps. Why would they patch that? Why would they make a patch for that? That's so stupid. And the idea, you can't leave. If you try to leave the game, you die. And if you die in the game, you die. I would still do it, because there's still dragons. You could still sword fight. And people are like, but if you die in the game, you die. Yeah, but if I die in real life, I die. And in real life, an air conditioner can just fall at me while I shame eat a burger at a McDonald's inside a Walmart. So I'll take the dragons. That's way cooler. There's a dude in the show that just fishes. Because you don't have to beat the game to get out. Someone has to beat the game. This guy just fishes all day. He found his minigame. He likes it. He's like, this is the best vacation I've ever been on. I haven't seen my wife in 6 months. This is awesome. I hope they never beat this game. But yeah, which is weird because like I'd still go. I'd still be in the Sword Art Online world, and it doesn't make sense to me. We as nerds love worlds we would die in. Like some of the most popular shows are like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. The people that make those shows are huge nerds. The people that watch those shows are huge nerds. I wouldn't last a minute in Game of Thrones. I would just wander around like, I can't believe this castle doesn't have Wi-Fi! Which again is the whitest thing you can say. Walking Dead, I think the humans would kill me just out of mercy. Just like, we got the group together, let's figure out everyone's skills. How about you? Well, I'm a hunter, so I have tracking skills and a sweet crossbow. How about you? I was a cop, so I know how to use firearms. How about you, chubby beard man? I don't know, you want to hear a joke about Mario's dick? Blam! Ow, I understand. I get it. It's fine. But it's true, we make these worlds like Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, but like, cool, it's another place where the in-shape pretty people are winning. I want a show where it's just like, your knowledge of the expanded Star Wars universe is very impressive, Lord Liam. But only he who eats the most pizza combos may bed the Dragon Queen. Yes! Yes, you know that's me. That's all I want. I lost my train of thought. I've started to realize that as I get older, I'm becoming like a grumpy old man nerd. And like I get mad that like kids these days used to grow up in a place where like Comic-Con's common knowledge now. Doctor Who's like a household name. When I was young, I watched Doctor Who. No one else watched Doctor Who, it was just me. And the people that played Doctor Who, like there wasn't a woman, it wasn't Capaldi, it wasn't sexy dudes, it was just weird old British men that looked like music teachers. That's all they could get to do it. I have people now that are like, Will, are you in the Dungeons and Dragons group? Can we play Dungeons and Dragons with you? I'm like, no, you haven't earned it, that's not fair. Because when I was in high school, if you wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, you needed 3 friends that could keep a secret. The first rule of Fight Club is 1,000% the first rule of Pretend Wizard Fight Club. And like we didn't tell anybody. I'd be coming home at like 3 a.m. Finally, my parents would be there. I'm like, what are you doing all night? Are you doing drugs? And I'd look at them. And I'd look at my player's guide. Like, yep, I was doing all kinds of drug, like cool kids do. You know me, a cool kid. And they'd keep pressing it. They'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing all night? I'm like, you want to know what I did all night? We tried to break into your temple of Ophidian to steal an orb so that we could summon a Baylor demon from the realm of chaos. I'm like, I knew it. I knew if we bought you a Slipknot album, you'd start worshiping the devil. Like, Mom, demons are chaotic. Demons are chaotic evil. Devils are lawful evil. Learn your shit, Mom. There's not as much cosplay at MAGLabs as there are at other cons, which is cool. I occasionally will cosplay myself. I like to find like something that one guy like me is gonna run up and be like, oh man, you're the dude that cries when the Rancor dies in Return of the Jedi. Like, You just need a towel and man boobs, so I can make it out of my hotel room. It's fine. I used to have this weird thing, though, because when we first started doing it, I kept telling myself I was straight. There's this thing called crossplay, which if you don't know, it's just where you cosplay as a person of the opposite gender. And I used to just be at Comic-Con like, yo, Tony Stark's got a sexy ass. Now I just agree with that on nature, but it's fine. But I used to have this weird fear because I'm a crazy person that like Loki would come to Comic-Con, because in the first Avengers movie, he goes to like the real world, he comes to a party, and I had this weird fear he would just show up at Comic-Con and be like, why am I all women? I don't understand. No, I don't know what Tumblr is. I go, ah! Oh, that's my brother. No, I'm looking at it. Go away. It's fine. I recently did something that you should never do. I moved back to my hometown. Don't do it. It's terrible. Once you leave Pallet Town, don't ever go back. Your ass is gone. There's nothing there for you. But it worked out that way. I had to do it. The first worst thing is that I don't know anybody there but the people I knew in high school that didn't leave. And it's always that one couple that started dating in high school. They got married. It's gross. I'm sorry if any of you started dating in high school, got married, but it's gross, guys. And all they know is couple stuff because they're only friends with each other. So they're always just asking you like, oh, you know, we're thinking about kids. Are you thinking about kids? I'm like, first off, that's not a sentence I can say. You're a couple. You can be like, we're thinking about kids. I'm a weird, lonely beard man. I can't be like, psst, hey, I'm thinking about kids. It's a red flag. But that's all they know, so they just keep asking, like, did you ever think about kids? We're thinking about kids. It's always we with people like that, too. They sound like Venom from Spider-Man. Just like, we're thinking about kids. We're doing Pilates. We think if you want a girlfriend, you shouldn't make such specific Spider-Man references. I'm like, it's not going to stop. It's not going to happen. But finally, they break you. I'm like, I don't know. I guess if I wanted a kid, I would adopt, because I don't wish these giant ginger genes on any poor child. I would just adopt. And they were just like, oof, you should be careful. It's like, the kid is not going to mug me. What the hell are you talking about? Well, you never know what you're going to end up with. What are you talking about? It is not an airport drug deal where they're just like, psst, hey, are you the guy thinking about kids? You know I am. Whoop. Wait, where are you going? He's got a problem now. What? Oh, he's a Hitler clone. Oh, great. Fantastic. Get rid of that. And he's fine. It was Hitler, guys. And the other worst part is that you have to get a new doctor, and they run the risk of running into someone else you know. I take medication for anxiety and depression. I'm a little embarrassed about it, so I have a tough time asking people for it. So I didn't even look when the doctor walked in. I was just like, can I get a new prescription? I hear nothing. I turn around, somebody I know. Are you Liz's little brother? You used to get so drunk. Used to. I was like, yeah, you didn't ask my thing. I have depression, anxiety, I get a prescription, some drugs. Yeah, what do you want? Ooh, what do I want? Not a medical question. I have a piece of paper, I can write anything on it. They have to give it to you. You want some Adderall? I got a pocket full. I'm like, yeah, I'll take one. That's not great. So I leave with access to drugs. And then I remember, I have anxiety. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what the side effects are. I have no idea what it's going to do to me. Like, what do you do in that situation? What do you do? Do you go back to your doctor and ask questions? No, that's insane. You go on the internet. You go on WebMD. You find out you have cancer, but you can get past that. It's fine. They say that about everything. And I did. I found a list of side effects. It's the normal list of like contradictory stuff like diarrhea, constipation, insomnia, sleepiness, suicidal tendencies, and unquenchable lust for life. And the last ones, and these are real, was temporary blindness and risk-seeking behavior, i.e. feels no fear. And guys, I finally got it. I got my superpowers. These pills will make me Daredevil. All right, guys, that's me. I'm going to do this limoncello shot they brought me. Don't applaud for that. Fine, I'll take it. Guys, your last comic is also a founding member of Plus 2 Comedy. He's the second tallest member. Is that what we're going with now? I don't know. Noah Houlihan, everybody.
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for hanging out. How are we doing? We doing good? Yeah. I'm depressed. I have this problem where I obsess over like little moments. Like, you know those little moments of embarrassment that you have in your life? I'll remember them and then it'll ruin my day forever. And I thought you clapped for that. Like, yeah. They're awful. A friend of mine gave me some advice, though. He said, think about, when you have those moments, think about how many people actually saw that happen. Probably no one remembers that. And when you realize that, it won't bother you anymore. And that gave me an idea. Not to follow that advice. That's stupid. What I decided to do is anytime I see someone else commit a small embarrassment, I'll jump out and make sure they know I saw it and I'm going to remember it forever. Oh my God. It's been amazing. Dude, it's so good. Like, I saw someone, they were just walking around the mall, and all of a sudden they stopped abruptly and looked around and turned the other way. And I jumped out and went, you walked past the store you wanted to go to. You're an idiot. I'm going to remember this forever. It felt so good. Do this. I went to the movies the other day, and I got in line to get my ticket, and I waited for that moment where the guy selling tickets was like, hey, enjoy the movie. And the guy in front of me went, you too. And I went, he's not seeing the movie. He's at work. You just made him feel terrible. I'm going to remember this forever. Oh, God. It feels so good. It feels so powerful. While I'm riled up, can we officially be done with Five Nights at Freddy's? Can we be done? Can we be done with this, please? Can it be over? It's been the last game for the last 4 games. Can we be done? It drives me crazy because everyone's like, oh, you got to play Five Nights at Freddy's. It's amazing. Really? What do? Nothing. You sit there and you wait for something to scare you, and then it scares you. Oh my God, it's the best game ever. That doesn't sound good at all. Have you beaten this game? Oh, I've never played this game. I've watched Markiplier play it on the internet all the time. But me personally, I've never played it. It's dumb because everyone's like, oh, the story is so amazing. It's the best lore. It doesn't. That's a lie that they're telling you. Like, a good story is something like The Last of Us. The Last of Us story is like eating a fine steak. It's just like, ooh, this character development. So good. Ooh, I usually don't like mushrooms, but it's good in this context. I like it. It's very good. The story of Five Nights at Freddy's is like a microwaved hot dog. But you are so starving for some sort of ounce of a story that when you finally get it, you pretend like it's amazing. That's the situation you're in. You're just starving in a hole like, please, Scott, give us a little bit of lore. Please, give me something. Mangle's female. Amazing! Nom, 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 nom. I have a theory. I'm going to go post it on Reddit. It's dumb. No, we should play really cool games like Doki Doki Literature Club. Love that game. It's so cool. If you haven't played it, I'm about to ruin it, but it's fine. It's so good. It is the greatest prank ever accomplished in video games. Because it's a horror game disguised as a dating sim, which means the first people who got it actually just wanted a dating sim. They were just like, sweet, new dating sim. Awesome. Monica's hot. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? But the story is real good. So what then happened is all those people that wanted to play a dating sim told their friends, yo, you have to play this game. But I can't tell anything about it. You just have to go in and play it blind. And that game is boring for 3 hours straight. Which means their friends get it, they play it for 2 hours and go, this is stupid and Greg's an idiot. And then they get him again. They get the pervs twice. It is a brilliant prank. I'm so proud of them. Everyone should play that. Everyone's playing Fortnite. I'm a fan of Fortnite, and I love the controversy around Fortnite. That Fortnite is a gaming addiction. And it's causing bad behaviors in children due to studies. That's not true. It's not true at all. Because I looked into it because I was like, oh yeah, it's making kids violent, this Fortnite. And I was like, okay, let me see what happens in Fortnite. And if you haven't played it, you parachute out of a bus. And then you spend 20 minutes alone going, is anyone else playing this game? I can't find anybody. I thought there was 100 other people. Snipe! And that's the end of the game. That's Fortnite. That's all it is. And the thing is, they said that studies have shown that Fortnite is affecting the behavior of teenagers. Really? Who did you talk to? I would love to hear some parent yeah, all he does is play Fortnite. It's terrible. I want to sit down and talk to him, but he's always running around gathering firewood. It's what he does now. I tried to take him out to dinner. I tried to take him for fast food, and he said, no, that's where noobs drop. I don't know. I don't get it at all. And the other day, I saw him walking down the hallway, and he stubbed his toe and screamed, I'm taking damage, and built walls around himself. I don't know. It's got to be that Fortnite. I love how far games have gone. Like, games are becoming more and more impressive. And I'm not sure if you guys heard, the new Madden came out, and they were talking about doing Madden completely in VR. They were going to make a VR Madden, and the big push for it was going to be as close to playing actual football as you could get. And then they canceled it, and were surprised because nobody wanted that. Which is crazy that there are these people in offices that are like, those people who buy Madden, they really want to go outside and play football. They just can't. No, of course not. I don't want to play football. That's why I'm playing the video game. Like they're thinking I'm sitting there going, oh, if it wasn't raining, I would be outside right now. No, I want to play my Madden because my next door neighbor's an asshole and thinks he's better than me, and I need to prove him wrong. It's not winning if you use the all-Madden team every time. Sorry. That's just a personal problem I'm currently dealing with. But there's this weird push to make everything more realistic. I don't want more realistic. More realistic means if I get shot once, I die. No, give me some armor. Why would they make everything more realistic? That'd be like if they took Operation and they were like, all right, we're making Operation more realistic. Now, every time you touch the sides, instead of his nose going off, you have to tell a grieving widow that his husband died. Oh, that's not good gameplay. That would have been funnier if I didn't stumble over it. I love Dungeons and Dragons as well. I'm a big tabletop player, and the reason I got into Dungeons and Dragons is that's the devil's game. And I went to Catholic school, and in Catholic school, there was a group of cool kids that would sneak off and play Dungeons and Dragons. And then the kids with the overprotective parents couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons and got made fun of. So when I got to high school, I made a vow that I was going to play as much Dungeons and Dragons as I could and become the coolest kid in the world. And I officially did half of those things. I love Dungeons and Dragons, even though all it is some guy figured out a way to sell kids pretend. That's all it is. Is one day this guy walked in, it's like, what are you kids doing? Using your imagination. Well, you can't do that without this $30 book of rules. And then I bought it. I was like, oh my God. You mean I can fight dragons and shoot fire out of my fingertips? And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not at a high enough level to pretend that yet. You're going to have to put in 30, maybe 40 hours of hardcore pretend before you even think about pretending that. And I did. And not once did I sell my soul to the devil like everyone said I would. I hate that anytime something nerdy becomes popular, they blame it on the devil. It's like Pokemon, teaching kids about evolution, must be Satan. Harry Potter, teaching witchcraft, must be the devil. If this is true, the devil is the biggest nerd in existence. Which makes a lot of sense. Like, think about it. Like, God is this jock that lives in heaven. God has to be a jock. Football players ask him for help, like, all the time. So God is this jock that lives in heaven, and he throws the devil out of heaven into hell, the basement of existence, where there's no air conditioning, so it's really, really hot. It's bad for his skin, so it gets all red and blotchy. And what does the devil do? Collect souls. How? Fiddle competitions. Because even though the devil likes metal, his mom wanted him to play a classical stringed instrument. And what does the devil do with the souls? We don't know. He just keeps them mint in box on display, gaining value. I'm having a tough time because the guy I used to play D&D with recently had a baby. And first off, hate that phrase, had a baby. That implies that there once was a baby and he got rid of it and now we can drink on the weekends again. But no, he still has a baby. And it freaks me out because, like, I've known this guy since college and his greatest fear was having a kid. And then he went and did it on purpose, which is insane. And there's nothing else that will ever go from greatest fear to personal life goal. Like, you will never, like, see me on the street and be like, Noah, what's going on? I'm like, trying to get buried alive. Just in a pit of spiders while my dad says he's never been proud of me. That's what I really want. That's what I'm going for right now. My greatest fear, other than apples, my greatest fear is actually the idea that life, we're getting weird, that life in general, all of life, is a movie. Just everything that's happening is just one big movie, and I'm not the main character. Like, I exist to be a extra in a background shot somewhere. Because I went to a baseball game once, and somebody proposed, and I was like, this seems like a climax. Is this it? Is this my purpose? Am I looking at the camera? Did I ruin it? Cool. Rest of life is meaningless. Getting too real. That used to be my greatest fear. My new greatest fear is that life is a big time travel movie, and we live in the awful alternate present that the heroes come back to. Like, somewhere the heroes just came out of a time portal like, all right, we did it. We made it back. Who's the president? Donald Trump, the actor? And it gets worse. Firefly only ran one season here. What? We screwed up bad, Morty. We got to go back. But my friend, I went over to see his kid. You got to do that sometimes. So I went over to my friend's, and he was immediately like, let me see AJ. Let me show you AJ. Boy, come in here. Come see crazy Uncle Noah. And I was like, ooh, I never want to have kids. Because the idea of being this kid's crazy uncle was too much stress for me. I was like, oh no, I might have to know a magic trick. I don't want this. So the kid comes in, we say hi, I don't have to do a magic trick, and he leaves. He's like, all right, boy, go back and play. And I was like, why do you keep calling your son boy? He's like, well, I just played God of War. And Kratos seems like a really good dad, so I'm going to raise my son just like Kratos. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a good idea. But he's really committed to it, because later that day we got mugged by 3 guys, and he immediately ran away and told his son just to shoot arrows. And then he died in front of his son, and his son had to bring him back to life. And then when he won the battle, he was like, adequate. It's like, I think that was more than adequate. Your son shot an arrow and a wolf came out. It was incredible. You guys should play God of War. It makes those jokes make sense. They're much better that way. How about Odyssey? You guys play Mario Odyssey? I loved Mario Odyssey, but I have a game theory for you. Because the whole gimmick of Mario Odyssey is that he throws his hat and then becomes whatever he throws the hat on, like a bullet bill or a T-Rex or whatever. What if this whole time Mario actually just is the hat? Yeah. So when he throws the hat onto the T-Rex, Mario the plumber wakes up for the first time in 30 years. Like, what's happened? Where am I? I had a plumbing business. When did I get a doctorate? That's weird. Hey, the hat's coming back. Why, it's me. I'm so good at impressions. It's unbelievable. Did you guys hear the Smash characters that are coming? I know that the Nintendo Direct got messed up because of an earthquake, but they announced a bunch of new characters. We're getting a character from Guitar Hero, from Harmonix, but you have to buy a $60 controller to use them. It's very interesting. We were getting a GTA character from Rockstar, but Nintendo has already banned him. And we're getting an EA character, but he costs $100 million. Oh, God, I hate EA so much. Isn't it amazing that EA's logo used to be EA Sports, it's in the game, and now nothing's in the game anymore? I hate it so much. Also, other big news, real news, not the made-up jokes I just did about Smash Brothers. Did you guys hear that Fox is getting bought by Disney? Yeah, like there's some like chances that it can't happen because of monopolies or something like that. But Disney might buy Fox. You know what that means? Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to get delayed another 4 years. I mean, it's worth it because, you know, you can get a Firefly level out of it or an X-Men level out of it. What I really want is I just want to see like Goofy and Donald and Sora be like, I don't know where I am. Let's go ask for help in that bar. And then white text comes up that says, the gang finds a Keyblade. Oh, that'd be great. We're running out of time, so I have to do this part fast. I'm going to get real with you guys, if that's okay. My cousin passed away recently. And he was a big gamer, and we used to game a lot. So I went to the funeral, and he was going to have an outdoor burial. And it rained that day. So I pulled up, and I got a text that was like, the outdoor burial has been canceled. And I was like, oh. We should still bury him, right? That's weird, right? We can't just cancel this. We shouldn't just leave him around. He's like, no, there's going to be a service in the mausoleum. I was like, okay, I'll go to the mausoleum. So I sneak into this like already packed room. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And I bow my head, and the priest comes out and says, today we're going to say goodbye to Robert. And I was like, that's interesting. Because my cousin's name is Ryan, and he just called him Robert. Like, you know, when something's not important, you say, like, no big deal. It's not like it's set in stone. His name is literally set in stone outside by his grave. And now my cousin might not get into heaven on a clerical issue because he got his name wrong. Like, he's going to show up at the gates and be like, let me see. Ryan? Not on the list. Sorry. One more call for Robert Houlihan, though. Is Robert Houlihan here? So I had to stand there and listen to this priest talk about how great Robert was and how we'll never forget Robert. And then he finally says, Robert's mother would like to say a few words. I was like, I bet you Robert's mother has a few words because you forgot her son's name on his last party on Earth. And then a woman I didn't recognize stood up. And that's when I realized I'm at the wrong funeral. You ever go to the wrong funeral? No, that's never happened to anyone. So I immediately panic. And I'm like, I have to get out of here. So I'm sliding by people. And just as I'm about to escape, the priest says, any pallbearers who wants to step forward, do so now. And then I step my stupid ass into the hallway. And they're like, oh, thank you. I was like, what? And then someone put my hand on the casket of a box with a man I don't know inside of it. And I went, I can't do this. And the guy behind me put his hand on my shoulder and said, you can do this. You just need to be strong for Robert. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. I literally have no idea how to be strong for Robert. And then the guy in front of me turned around and went, wait a minute. You're at the wrong funeral, aren't you? I'm going to remember this forever. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much. We give the rest of Plus 2 Comedy a chance to get up here. Give it up one more time for Laura Prince, for Will Liam.
What's up?
Thank you guys so much for coming to the Plus 2 Comedy Show. We have 4 minutes before karaoke breaks out.
Oh, is there? There wasn't
Yes.
anything on the
I don't think
board.
there's anything in here, but like we also really like. If I don't get to do Disney karaoke, I'm gonna like. throw
That
it
guy
in there.
really wants to go to Disney karaoke. Look at him.
Well, you can go. I'll answer dumb questions.
So, well done. So before we get out of here,
Shame though, you didn't get his nose right.
any questions? Any questions?
What a great joking
If you want to
thing to
ask us
say.
about comedy, you can. If you want to ask us who would win in a fight between Mario and Sonic, we will give you a definitive answer. So, who has a question? Anybody? Yes, sir, in the hat.
Oh me, this has happened. I win.
I
I
don't-
fight mean.
As a trained professional wrestler, I could fake beat the hell out of you.
As someone who has cooked for you, I could poison you.
Laura would win. Laura would win.
I know where the apples are, man.
I don't work with any of you. She'd win. It's fine.
Question over there. What?
What?
That- oh,
Oh, he's talking about a penis.
he's talking about our penises,
Yeah.
our peni.
Yeah. I like to call mine an easy button.
Button? Button's what you want to go with.
I can't get to sleep. That was easy. That's Will. That was an impression of you.
No, you nailed it.
Actual question? Of all time? Oh, man, it goes back and forth a lot, but if I have to choose something, it has to be Portal. Because the thing about Portal, and the reason I truly love this game, this isn't going to be funny, this is just my love. Portal as a concept, the idea of the portal gun, good enough to be a game. But they spent the time to give it the extra love and character of Gladys and Cave Johnson and the backstory that game is just perfect to me. So I say Portal.
Yeah, this question always sucks because it's like the one we don't have joke answers for.
Yeah, it's just
Those
us.
games I really
Let me
love.
profess my love for something.
It's a tie-up for me between Ocarina of Time, which is just one of my favorite games.
Yes, the correct answer.
Yeah, or Bushido Blade for PlayStation.
Bushido Blade?
Yeah, my favorite fighting game of all time.
I'm gonna
The one-hit kill fighting game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the first one that had caused a familial intervention in my life, and that's Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first one where my mom was like, "And this is getting taken away until you go outside for a couple hours."
It had batteries. Just take it outside.
No, she took the thing away.
Oh, that's a good
Well,
point.
she's terrible.
Oh. I didn't even understand it. I just made a noise.
The batteries. It was sexual.
Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Favorite Pokemon? No joke. 100% Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is my favorite Pokemon. So when Pokemon Go came out, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get a selfie with Farfetch'd. Japan? Oh no. I did catch one during like the event, and get a selfie with him, and I felt real good. But in my home, I have a Farfetch'd about this big and about this high of pixel art of Farfetch'd because he's my favorite. No, I might be the only one on the planet who says Farfetch'd is their favorite Pokemon. I love him. He's adorable. What about you guys?
I like Growlithe because he's like a little fire tiger puppy.
He is, yeah. He likes Scritches the most by far.
Yeah, like it's not a good reason or a funny reason. He's just real cute.
I like Slack King because of his evolutionary tract. Because he starts real tired, like me. Then he has a coffee like me. He's Vigoroth. He's like, I'm going to start the day. Let's do. I'm tired again. Takes me 2 turns to make a move. Love Slack King.
It's a good choice. That's a good choice. I think we have time for one more question if anybody has one. If not, we'll just do plugs. Question. I would ask where you could follow us on Twitter. You can follow us at +2 Comedy. I'm at TV's Noah.
I'm at Priorities or at Stay Doomed.
Yes. So real quick plugs. We have a new podcast out called Stay Doomed, where we watch a show that only ran one season and decide whether or not it should get another season, whether or not it should stay doomed or we should have stayed tuned to it. Firefly is episode 100.
Why haven't you watched Firefly?
Because it's episode 100 of the podcast.
Why haven't you watched Firefly?
It's episode 100 of the podcast. 5.
Yeah, follow up. Why haven't you watched Serenity?
Because I haven't watched Firefly. The episode that dropped last week was on the Extacles, the spinoff of Frisky Dingo. And coming out this week is The Good Family, the spinoff of King of the Hill. It's super terrible. We hate it. It's real bad. Don't look into it. Just listen to our podcast. Yeah, we're in the middle of Cartoon Month. Next month, we're doing spoopy stuff. So if you have a scary show that has lasted one season or less, suggest it, and maybe we'll watch it on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you watching the Geico Caveman?
It's on the list. It is on the list.
It's on sitcom month.
Sitcom or cash-in month?
No, Cash-in Month is a completely different concept.
We got a
That's
bunch.
cartoons that are based on a franchise that have no business being cartoons.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite. Can't wait for that one. So be sure to check that out. And also, if you haven't heard me say this enough, Game the Gamer is our game show that is going to be running on YouTube very soon. So please subscribe to +2 Comedy Gaming. It's Cutthroat Kitchen with video games. It's super good. All right, I think that does it for our show. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the +2 Comedy Show.